video. First of all, sorry about that tremor. I know that's gonna be annoying, but we're gonna work through it because I feel like being on my porch, and that is what that is. So anyway, I wanted to have a conversation real quick about the stream I had yesterday. I'll probably leave that up for a little bit, but I'll probably end up uploading that to my Patreon. I do have a Patreon. I am about to start uploading shit within a little, like maybe in the next couple of days. I'm gonna start picking and choosing a lot. So a lot of the shows that I kind of prefer not to really be out there, I'm gonna let them stay up for a while. And the Patreon, by the way, is going to be free. This is just gonna be a place where I put my unlisted content. I always reserve the right to change my mind as far as if I charge for it. But right now, I quite frankly, if y'all want to support me, super chats and cash apps are always preferred, and I definitely appreciate anything you all do. So with that being said, I got some thoughts about a couple of things, not just this, but we're gonna make it happen. Hold on. So anyway, so first of all, first things first. Um, my stream. I've been kind of on one lately, and I'm not one that wants to start wilding out, getting all angry, raging at people like that. I can be passionate, but I only have a certain tolerance of bullshit, which is why I tend to not deal with people that are really on that shit. People, and so I take personal responsibility for even me letting people on, because like as far as Miss J, I know how Miss J is. I know the type of people she attracts, the type of people that are around her. As far as generally, so that's on me. I should like she's like a level one goalpost mover. Like she just moves. She's never gonna really. She want. I'm gonna say it like this. You can tell Miss J lacks attention in her life, and so one thing as a man, or that you have to understand, a male, man, whatever, is that women value attention, and so when you give women attention, their primary objective is to do everything to maintain that attention, as little as it is, right? So the goal is not to have a real dialogue. The goal is really to maintain that attention. And I know that, and yet I still, because I was on one yesterday, I still wanted to have a conversation to put this stuff out. But one thing we did learn about what I did yesterday, we learned something interesting as far as me saying this, challenging this divestment shit. We've learned a couple of things. Number one, what we've learned, basically, as usual, people are going to move the goalposts. Because that's what people do. People are gonna move whenever you hit them with something, they're gonna go to the default. But what you've learned is all of a sudden now it's only a couple. And David Carroll said this for a long time. So this is not a revelation still coming out of a female's mouth. That there's very few. David Carroll's been saying for a long time. There's very few women that actually got white. I don't even talk about divesting. It's got white. Very few. Very few. And even still, one of the things comparison like a point of attention, because anybody that's ever heard listen cares and knows white men that she'll bring on if those conversations go bad. She'll literally do that. So this idea that she has quote unquote divested is bullshit. Also, now divestment means getting away from nigga culture. Now, from a woman's perspective, where women think binary, so it can never be their fault. It always has to be, if it's either all their fault, all men's fault. This is how they view these things. So therefore, it has to always be a man's fault because they always have to be the victim. And per that logic, um, nigga culture has to be defined. And David Carroll has also is clearly commented on this. This is a lot of David Carroll stuff. Nigga culture has to be defined as what black men do. And anybody that listens to David Carroll will know that that's what they're talking about when they talk about Blackistan. Nigga culture, Blackistan, same thing. Blackistan is in between a black female's legs because women are the first teachers. And because women are the first teachers and nigga basically, they literally birthed nigga culture. Nigga culture is acculturated by black women because they are the ones promoting it. That's the truth because women are the first teachers. But see, women cannot accept that. They always have to claim they're the victims of such culture. Even though, real talk, black women sexually and otherwise promote nigga culture more than anybody, to keep it all the way 100. To the point that even when you have women that don't come from that, they literally gravitate towards it. You don't see that as much amongst black men. And you see that manifest in a lot of fights and battles that have happened and continue to happen in the manosphere. Like dust ups and stuff. So this idea, and there's obviously not a, there's people in the middle, there's people that are hybrids, there's variations of that, ratios to that. We all get that. But my point is, the women tend to all circle around this wannabe hot girl culture. You see it. It's very obvious. It's always been there, but it's very, very obvious now. To the point where professionals, you got a lot of professional ratchets with people like Red Supreme, other people. This is another reason why a lot of these women are fucking these dudes. A lot of these dudes, these low, what somebody might say, what another group might look in and say these are lower class guys. This is why these guys, in black culture, a lot of these guys tend to have very good access into these professional women. It's not abnormal for niggas to be fucking women that are completely, and it's not about income either. It's not just about income. They're fucking motherfuckers that you don't really see interact in other groups to that same extent. In other groups, other races, you don't see that intermix. That's a unique thing. Why? Because a lot of these people, again, these 80s, these 92 climbers, that or they're alert. Even Karazin has said that she long time ago that she dabbled with street dudes until something happened, and then that caused her to really say fuck all that. Which is BGS has articulated that usually a very traumatic event has to happen to really snap a female out of that. So this idea and even when you look at a lot of Karazin's pictures, she has that thought ponytail. Like seriously, where she has her hair pulled back and it's the hair. So this idea that she always wears her hair natural, that's not true. Her. Even when you look at Kevin Samuels, which obviously the point Ms. J is literally trying to read the is on the fly. That's what she literally tried to do. And I was on one. It was a Friday, but I know what she was trying to do. Number one, maintain attention, but number two, what she was trying to. This shit, it means whatever they want it to mean at any given time. Even though she acknowledged that very few women divest, but then all of a sudden the conversation she wanted to keep on women and actually divest, as if okay, I acknowledge very few women do it, so now let's always talk the women actually die. That's a very small percentage. That's a very, very, very small percentage of black women. It's statistically, it's not even significant like that, because even black women that date men are always culture. That's a very small percentage of black women that at all don't participate in nigga culture. That is an extremely small percentage of black women that are ADOS. Females, and it was a chick. I'm like, shut the fuck. YouTubers over here for years that are monitoring enough of these chicks. Yeah, she knows who she's talking to. She knows she's talking to dudes that have listened to these people. For instance, technically, Cynthia G talks about divestment. Look at who she had a kid with. A lot of these women that talk, so basically what you're essentially saying is any female that talks about divestment is capping. They're not really serious. Like Ro Alori Cutno would probably be like the best example of that. That's what it looks like. And anybody that knows Ro knows those black women. When I say they with a passion, they hate Ro. You think they hate Kevin? If you understood, like Ro had to create multiple Facebook accounts because. So that's what that really looks like. So again, like I said, when you actually tell these motherfuckers, and then then the argument also was then the argument also was well, black people. And then I asked the question, okay, so are they ever going to do it? Now it becomes I don't know. Now, like, and whenever all these opinions, now I don't know, which is code for I don't want to answer the question. I don't even want to ponder the question because I know, because she knows they're not. The answer to it is they're never going to. They're never going to. Not in any significant numbers. They're never going to. That's the answer. Because they understand that very much limited when they leave the race. They understand that. And quite frankly, they know that the benefits, once they get out of that delusion, because when that real hits you, it hits you. The benefits do not outweigh how they're limited. They understand that. And Game Changer, the problem I had with a lot of what Game Changer was trying to say is Game Changer was like, look, I understand about who am I to say somebody's long winded, but it's like we're freezing the conversation in this one. And David Carroll has alluded to it, said that too. The thing about what in their mind like that. Like, I don't care if that like it was their goal is to get the best women to deal with them. Okay, I don't care about the mindset of an insane person that is so caught up in their own sexual politics and wound talk they can't think straight. I don't care about that. I really don't, because pick who they're gonna pick. Irregardless, they're not gonna listen to ugly women to direct them. That's not how that. That's not how that's gonna. That never works that way. Oh my God, yo, I hate this spot. I really do. I hate this spot with a passion. Cause like this is like my favorite spot to do some shit, but at the same time, this spot is always fucking buffering. Like damn, I really need to get a an extender. So anyway, cause I don't want this to be too long. All right, it should be fine. All right, so like I said before. So anyway, so the point is, you know, you actually tell them why don't they date out, what they're gonna do is they're gonna start dancing, because quite frankly what you're doing is you're calling them on their bluff. You're calling them on their bluff, and a lot of these females can't date out because they know the type of man they're gonna get dating out is gonna be at best the same dude that they got in the black community, but with the powers of actually being able to control them because the society's behind them. We know this. We understand this. And what black men need to do, it should be better now. What black men need to do is black men need to start forcing that issue. And when I say, and see, she didn't understand what I meant by that. She kept on saying, you can't force people to date out. I said, that's not the point. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is black men need to start just responding to everything they say. Like, fuck trying to explain to them why we do what we do, saying, well, why don't you date out? Well, because I care about, because see what they're eventually going to do is they're going to start playing games like they care about the black community. And if they start doing that, if they start saying, well, I care about the black community, I'm going to be like, well, how do you care about, like, understand something. The black community is quote unquote black men and quote unquote black women. So you, just because if you're a feminist or a womanist in any kind of way, then you don't really care about the black community. You don't. So this idea of I care about the black community, and I define the black community as black women and black women. I don't even define it as black children anymore. I really just define it as black women, because really that's who gets the priority. Adult and elder black women get the priority, and little girls have to grow into that adulthood. That's what the black community is. So we then need, because that's what's going to start to happen. If you start doing this enough, they will start to, oh, well, I care about the blood. No, you don't. Because then that's when you hit them with the boys. You hit them with what happens. Like big reason why y'all quote unquote don't got men has nothing to do with incarceration. That's everything to do with you prioritize the girls over the boys. So now when the girls grow up And now they ain't got no dudes around because they at a macro level, you depressed the boys. Now you have a small set of dudes that are doing shit. Um, and by definition, you all have to compete for a smaller number and in your crime. But see, y'all don't hold women accountable to that shit. Y'all don't. This is the game that you all actively participate in at multiple different levels. You do participate in it by not questioning it. You participate in it by not calling nobody out on it. You want to front load the blame on men. That's what's gonna happen. They're gonna start to try to say they're community minded. Well, we stayed. No, you didn't. There is nothing that a black female does that is not in her first, second, and third best interest. There's nothing you do that there is no give to get. Show me something that would qualify as what I would call a give to get statement. For example, if a man provides, he provides not provides in order to get cooperation from a female. By definition, that provision is a lot more valuable than cooperation. So that is giving to get. You show me something a woman does. And here's the thing. We're not talking about on dudes that you're hypersexually attracted to. Well, I give sex and I expect this. That's what they're going to say. Because that's all they know. They don't know anything else. So, but I get ease, but that's gonna be the response because they won't have anything else to say. And this is why a lot of times women avoid a lot of these conversations with dudes that are smart. See, they like, I'm not trying to keep on talking about IQ and calling dudes dumb, but dudes like Ease, dudes like Nameless, dudes like Roger, people that can ask questions and we know we can identify the right question is gonna give us like the at least get to the bottom of what shit is. They don't like dudes like that. It doesn't matter about how your tonality is. Because if you notice, Roger doesn't have a hard tonality. Nameless doesn't have a hard tonality. Ease is more closer to like me in that where he can amp up, But it ain't like we're always doing that. The thing is, they don't like dudes. It doesn't matter the tone. That's a smoke screen. I just got done listening to a Tasha K video where Tasha K did a response to all of the angry women that got upset that Tasha K didn't drag Kevin. And she responded to it in a smart way, but at the end of the day, that's the gynocracy being upset because that's Tasha K being what I call as an irresponsible black woman. Just like from the Boondocks, where he said you'd be considered an irresponsible white person, you're gonna be fired. That's what a pick me is. That's what it's far. Wow, I don't know why my Wi-Fi is buffering like this. Okay, well I don't know. My internet is acting up, so whatever. So yeah, we'll do this later.